Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with the chapter of human body, the skeletal system. Now, children, the skeletal system is not the only system that we have in our body. Right? Our body performs various functions, and to control all those activities, we have different types of systems in our body. So, I feel like it is very important for you all to know the names, at least the names and the organs included in those systems. Alright? So, if you see the other systems that we have in our body, then we have 8 systems in our body. And they are the nervous system, the circulatory system, the excretory system, the reproductive system, the muscular system, the digestive system, the respiratory system, and the skeletal system. So if you see these systems in our body, they have organs also. So let's discuss one by one, right? So if you see the first one, the nervous system. So the organs included in the nervous system are the brain and the spinal cord. And you know, brain, it is the most important organ of our body. And spinal cord, these are the nerve cells which runs from the head, and these nerve cells, they carry the messages from brain to our body and from body to our brain. That's why one of the system of our body is the nervous system, which controls overall activities of our body. Then the next system we have is the circulatory system. The circulatory system which helps to circulate blood, oxygen, nutrients, waste materials inside our body. And if you see the organs of circulatory system, then they are heart, blood and blood vessels. Then the next system we have is the excretory system. Excretory system means the system that helps to remove the waste from our body. And the organs of excretion are the kidneys. These kidneys are also called biological filter. They will filtrate the blood and the waste materials. Then the next system we have is the reproductive system. The system which helps to reproduce. You know, living organisms, they produce their young ones either by laying eggs or by giving birth, and that system is the reproductive system. Then the next system we have is the muscular system. Muscular system means we have muscles in our body, and the muscular system is related with the muscles of our body, right? Then the next system is the digestive system, the system which digests the food. And if you see the organs of digestive system, then they are mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. And these different organs helps to digest the food. And the system is digestive system. Then the next system is the respiratory system. Respiratory system means, you know, we cannot survive without oxygen. We need to breathe, right? So, respiratory system is the system which helps us to breathe, alright? And it is the system which not only helps us to breathe, but it gives us, provides us with energy. The energy which we use to do different activities, right? Then the last system is the skeletal system. The system which is, this skeletal system, it is the framework of our body. And this system is, it consists of bones and tissues, right? And this skeletal system supports or gives shape and support our body. And the skeletal system, it is made up of bones and tissues. Okay, so this, the framework of the bone is called the skeleton. And skeletal system gives support and shape to our body. And our bones are made up of minerals like calcium, minerals like calcium and phosphorus, and this calcium, they makes our bones strong. Then if you see the total number of bones in our body, especially an adult, then an adult, they have 206 bones in their body. Alright? Now children, if you just think of the bones, how do they look like? They are actually hard, right? They are very hard, tough, rigid, right? So these bones, they cannot bend actually, isn't it? They are very tough. But what we have learned here, the bones, they are the framework of our body. Means just look at yourself. Will you be able to bend your body? Will you be able to bend your fingers? Will you be able to move around? What will be the answer? The answer is yes. We can move around, we can bend our bodies, we can bend our fingers to hold things like this, isn't it? So how does that happen then? If the bones are very tough, very hard, then how does that happen? How are we able to bend our bodies? How are we able to move around? It's because of the joints. Is that clear? So what are joints? Joints are those areas where 2 or 3 bones meet. And these joints helps in the movement of our body. Is that clear? Now, if you see the bones in our body, then do you think all the bones have the same shapes and sizes? No. The bones of our body are of different shapes and sizes. So, based upon the shape and sizes of the bones are of 4 types. Alright? And they are long bones, short bones, flat bones and irregular bones. Now where do you find the long bones? Now the bones of our limbs, like we have upper limbs and lower limbs. Limbs means hands and the legs. So bones of the limbs, okay, including the bones of our fingers and the bones of our toes, they are long bones. So you can see here also the long bones, the bones of our arms, the bones of our legs, okay, and the bones of our fingers, they are long bones. Then the bones of the wrist and the ankles, they have short bones. Alright. Then another type, flat. Where do you find the flat bones? We have flat bones in our chest. Can you see the flat bone outer in the chest? If you see the shape also, it looks like a necktie, right? So we have a flat bone in our chest and we have a flat bone in our skull also. Okay. Then comes the irregular bones. Irregular bones means the bones whose shapes are not, like perfect type of shapes. They are irregular in shapes. So if you see the bones of the hips, okay, bones of the hips, bones of the shoulder, then they are irregular in shape. So these are the 4 types of bones of our body. Now we are going to discuss the parts of the skeleton. Now you see this is a skeleton. It looks quite scary, right? When we see the skeleton, we really get very scared. But actually, the reality is that is us, right? So let's see the parts of the skeleton. So a skeleton has 5 parts, and they are skull, okay, then limbs, then backbone, okay, and ribcage and girdles. These are the 5 parts of the skeleton. Now let's discuss the skull. Now if you see the skull out here, the skull, it is a hollow, bony structure which forms the head of the skeleton. And this skull, it gives or it supports the structure of our face, okay, and it provides a protective cavity for our brain, okay. And if you see the total number of bones that we have in our skull, then altogether we have 22 bones in our skull. Now out of the 22 bones, 8 bones forms the part of the skull which protect the brain, and 14 bones forms our face. Okay, and the bones of the skull, they are fixed and immovable. Immovable means they cannot move, they are immovable, but only one bone, which is the largest, the strongest and the lowest, it is called lower jaw. It is movable. So by opening and closing, when this lower jaw moves, it helps to open and close our mouth. And by the movement of the lower jaw also, we will be able to talk, or we will be able to eat our food. So this is about the skull. Now the next part of the skeleton is the backbone, or it is also called vertebral column. You can see this. It's that. Can you see this? So these bones, these backbones, it is also called spine. And the bones of the backbone, they are flexible and extending from right from the base of the skull and runs to the tailbone, till here. Okay? And this backbone is made up of 33 ring-shaped bones. So these 33 ring-shaped bones, they interlock each other. Alright? They interlock each other to form a column. That's why it is also called vertebral column. Alright? And if you see the function of vertebral column, then this vertebral column will protect the spinal cord. Now again, I have already told you what are spinal cords. They are nerve cells which runs from the brain and which acts like a courier of messages. They will carry the messages from the brain to different parts of the body, and from the different parts of the body to the brain. So that's why they are needed to be protected. So this spinal cord is protected by vertebral column. How? Vertebral column will enclose and protect them. Is that clear? Now the next part of the skeleton is the rib cage. You can see the rib cage. The rib cage is located in our chest. Okay? And this rib cage, they are a bony structure made up of thin curved bones. And if you see the number of rib cage, total number of rib cage, then we have 12 pairs of rib cage. Total of 24. Alright. So out of that 24 pairs, 7 pairs of rib cage are attached to the sternum in the chest. Now sternum, again, I have told you, we have a flat bone in our chest. And that flat bone is called sternum. So you can see the 7 pairs of ribs connected to the sternum. They are attached to the sternum. Okay? And the 3 pairs are attached to the costal region. Then the last 2 pairs, they are not attached to the sternum. That's why the last 2 pairs of ribs are called floating ribs, or they are also called false ribs. Now if you see the function of rib cage, so which organs are located in our chest? You all know that is heart and lungs, the most important organ and the most delicate organs. So they are needed to be protected. So these hearts and lungs are protected by rib cage. Okay? Then the next part of the skeleton is the limbs. Limbs. We have 2 limbs. Upper limbs and lower limbs. Upper limbs means our hands, our arms, and lower limbs means our legs. Now let's discuss upper limbs first. So there are bones in our arms, right? And these bones in our arms are divided into 2 parts. Can you see that? One extending from the shoulder till the elbow. And this bone is long. So it is called humerus. Alright? And the bones between the elbow and the wrist is, we have two bones out here. Okay? And their names are, one is called radius and the other one is called ulna. These are the bones of our upper limbs, means our arms. Now, bones of the lower limbs, which means the legs. Now, in the legs also, they have bones, and the bones are consist of again two parts in our legs also. One extends from the hip till our knees, right? And this bone is also called thigh bone, and it is the strongest and the largest bone of our body, and it is called femur. Then from the knee, the bone extended and joins the feet, and there we have again two bones. And if you see, one of the bone is thick and strong. So that thick and strong bone is called tibia, and the thin and the weak bone is called fibula. Alright, so these are about the limbs. Now comes the next part of the skeleton, that is girdles. Now we have two girdles in our body. Girdles means the shoulder girdle and the hip girdles. Alright, so this shoulder girdle, it is also called pectoral girdle. Alright, and it is consists of two bones. So one is shoulder blade and the other one is collar bone. Okay, and the hip girdles, we have three bones, but in the hip girdles, these three bones, they fused together, they joined together to form one bone, and the hip girdle is also called pelvic girdle. Now these are all about the skeletons of our body. Now let's see the functions of bones. So what are the functions of bones? The functions are bones, it gives shape and support to our body. Then the next function, the bones protect all the internal organs of our body. Like the function of the skull. The skull protects the brain. The ribcage protects the lungs and the hearts. The vertebral column, it protects the nerve cells, spinal cord. So the bone protects all the internal organs of our body. Then the bones also helps in the movement of our body. As I have told you, it's due to the presence of joints, right? Then these bones, sometimes they release some minerals and fats. And the most important function of the bone is it helps in the formation of red blood cells in the bone marrow. Now what is bone marrow? Bone marrow, it is a spongy tissue inside some of your bones like thigh bones or the bones of your arms, and these spongy tissue, it contains the stains. The name of this cell is called stem cells, which helps in the formation of red blood cells. That's why bones helps in the formation of red blood cells. Alright? So now children, today I have done till here. So I just want you to go through your textbook, read the chapter, and I will be giving you some more exercises tomorrow. Thank you children.